Hey Yoke, what's cracking with the daily viewers who I've coined the Chico Army? But if you're new, no stripes yet, you're just a viewer of the tube. My name's Tyler, the host of the crypto channel, whose content is a treat. But remember, watch out for the trick. Well, that scared the puss out of the boots. It's time for Chico Crypto. Ethereum 2.0, it's coming. Yesterday, right on schedule, right on time with no delays. Ethereum transitioned to the next stage. Spadina, the final testnet dress rehearsal before the launch of the 2.0 beacon chain and phase 0 of the Ethereum 2.0 mainnet. So Spadina is just the staging testnet, which is projected to last for only 3 days. It's rapid fire, and it's made to test out the risque parameters of a Genesis launch and deposits from outside stakers with that Genesis launch. So is the beacon chain going live for deposits on October 2nd after this ends? 1 day is already down with Spadina. Today is the 2nd, and October 1st will be the 3rd. Well, Danny Ryan, who dropped a blog post about the Spadina launch, said this: 3-day end of life. And if you're interested in testing out your deposits and Genesis chops one last time before mainnet launch, then Spadina is for you. So is the beacon chain going live on October 2nd if everything goes to plan? Well, Danny didn't answer that, but it sounded like it kind of. Although at the bottom of the blog he says this: Phase 0 mainnet is coming soon, no TM necessary, and everyone involved is making their final preparations for launch. Well, Mainstream covered this topic too, and they were just as unclear. CoinDesk posted this article: Ethereum 2.0 developers launched Spadina, a 3-day practice testnet. And they spoke to Danny, and he told them this: the main objective is to give us all another chance to go through one of the more difficult and risky parts of the process, deposits and Genesis, before we reach mainnet. If all goes well, it should give us greater peace of mind before we jump into the real deal later this year. Okay, later this year. Again, not clear. Does anybody know the case of when it goes live? Well, I did some digging, and a great place to get the clearest and most up-to-date information regarding this is from the eStaker subreddit. Now, a moderator of that sub is user SuperFizz, and he is highly involved with this launch. He is the one who posted the Spadina viewing party on the subreddit, and as we can see from the actual Spadina launch party, he was there. So how did it go down? Was it a success? Well, let's watch what user SuperFizz and Danny Ryan had to say.
Where the rubber hits the road is users who submitted deposits don't seem to have been running validators to back up those deposits.
Yeah, I think we got about 90% of what we wanted out of this. We gave users a chance to run through everything. We gave ourselves a chance to run through everything. We're going to spend some time circling back and seeing what some of those technical difficulties were, because I imagine some people didn't turn their nodes on, and some people maybe had some technical difficulties, whether that be just UX problems trying to figure things out, or whether it be port forwarding or any sort of other error. So we'll circle back on that. But again, 90% of what we wanted to see today.
Great. Thanks, Danny. So
Danny said 90% of what they wanted to see they saw, but there were some issues that they needed to circle back around to, which means it wasn't 100% success. And SuperFizz said progress is still being made, but no date of when phase 0 will come. We are just close. Does that mean 2 days away close? Well, SuperFizz 12 days ago on eStaker put out a Spadina post explaining it and answering questions for potential validators. Someone asked him the question: I've been wondering, is this just the plan first of many, or is the plan to keep rolling these out every X days so everyone can get more and more comfortable and fine-tuning things? SuperFizz replied, my current understanding is that this is the live dress rehearsal before mainnet. I'm not aware of plans for other dress rehearsals. So it sounds like to me this is the final one. So October 2nd, will users be able to start staking? Well, someone asked that question in the eStaker subreddit, and SuperFizz replied, no, this is not true. The final launch rehearsal is September 29th, and the mainnet launch hasn't been announced yet. So I'm just as confused as you guys. Last testnet's supposed to only go for 3 days, yet mainnet won't launch after those 3 days. Are we gonna have another dress rehearsal? Well, people are calling for that in the ETHStaker subreddit. This was posted. Another semi-public testnet with no finality in the first hour. They say, I truly wish people at ethereum.org would reconsider launching phase 0 on mainnet until a few tests actually go well. So what happened with Spadina? Is there going to be a massive delay? Well, actually the testnet was sabotaged to a degree. Ethereum Foundation dev working on 2.0, Proto Lambda, said this on Twitter. That feel when some random Goerli accounts dropped in a ton of Spadina deposits and run 0 validators. Launch went well, but low participation because of this. We might need some incentives or scarce Goerli F. So the reason this isn't working is proof of stake needs something at stake or it's too easy to attack, which is happening with their testnets. Attackers have been sucking dry the Goerli testnet ETH needed to stake and basically spam attacking the network with a deposit yet no participation. Spadina needed 66% participation out of the deposits for finality. Yet, because of the attacks, this was unreachable in the initial hours. Now with mainnet and value, 32 ETH to be exact, worth $11,400, this kind of attack cannot be pulled off as you need money to do it. So many people are saying if everything looks good from a technical standpoint and the spam attacks are just the issue, it should just go live as nothing should fail and finality would be reached quickly with no spam. So no definitive timeline on mainnet phase 0 yet, but I'm sure in the next day or so we will be getting word on the next move. Although this creates a super good opportunity for a crypto which relies on the launch, who has been on my radar since October of last year. That is Rocket Pool, the decentralized network for staking. So 32 Ethereum worth over $11,400 is the minimum deposit to stake if you want to become a validator and earn the staking rewards. If you have less than 32, you're out of luck for the time being. But not with Rocket Pool. It allows users to pool together their ETH, a minimum deposit of 0.01 ETH for staking with Rocket Pool nodes, much friendlier than the 32. And those staking nodes in the network share the rewards with the users. Thus, those who don't have that many ETH can still earn staking rewards, and it makes the network that more secure. So, Rocket Pool is going to be a service for staking, not only for users with less than 32 ETH, but for those with 32 ETH and beyond. Nodes who pool and get people to stake with them will earn extra rewards than just their normal staked validator node. It's a win-win for users and those node runners. Now Rocket Pool and their involvement can give us an idea of when the mainnet phase 0 will go live. They put out this September 21st Medium post, Rocket Pool 2.5. Rolling beta, and they say, we're proud to announce that Rocket Pool 2.5 Mandala rolling beta will be starting in a few weeks, on the 6th of October. That is after October 3rd. So I would have to say, since Rocket Pool is going into beta 2.5 only on the Mandala testnet, the month of October just might not see phase 0 go live. And then I don't know how much inside information Decrypt has, but they said this in an article regarding the Mandala testnet just 2 days ago. ETH2 is expected to launch in November 2020. Bummer in the summer, but like I said, this presents an opportunity with Rocket Pool during this month for accumulation and preparation, and accumulation through preparation, as if you join their beta for Rocket Pool on Mandala starting October 6th, as seen from their blog post, all participants will share a reward of 10,000 RPL for contributing to the Mandala beta. So why do I have my eye on RPL besides what they say it can do? Because of what outsiders highly involved with E2 are saying it can do too. Superfizz answered this question. How long will the locking period be in ETH staking when it starts? Just 6 days ago. He said phase 0 is the first phase of staking and withdrawals aren't possible. Withdrawals will be enabled when phase 1.5 goes live, expected within 2 years of phase 0 launch. If there's any chance you'll need to withdraw your ETH early, the best recommendation is to wait until phase 1.5 is already live. Or, as a slightly riskier approach, consider a service like Rocket Pool. So you guys, literally, if you want to have access to your ETH for withdrawals, the only way initially will be with Rocket Pool. This says there will be up to 2 years of lock. That right there is a bullish, let me tell you, bullish use case for their protocol. And with the way DeFi is moving, people will want access to their ETH at any time. And then just 8 days ago, the Mandala beta was posted in the ETH Staker subreddit, and SuperFizz is the #1 commenter. It says, I want to be clear that our ETH Staker doesn't endorse third-party staking platforms, and we believe that solo staking is the best way to stake. However, as my personal opinion goes, I think Rocket Pool is a really exciting platform and the only pooled staking platform I would consider using at this time. As a matter of fact, I do plan to host a few nodes on RPL just to learn more about it. That is some solid freaking endorsement, and you better believe I'm gonna be joining their beta too. Why? Well, you can almost think of it like this. Staking and securing Ethereum is going to be a massive industry, a very large one out the gate. Estimates put 30 million Ether staked. That's $10.62 billion. That's 26% of the circulating supply of ETH. And then Stakefish has an estimator for Ethereum staking rewards. Let's put in that 26%. As we can see, estimated rewards would be 2.94%. 2.94% of 10.62 billion is over $312 million. Staking Ethereum would be worth $312 million if it went live right now, and most likely by the time it does actually go live, it will be worth a lot more. Rocket Pool only has a $33 million market cap. The Uniswap of Ethereum staking? I see opportunity. Cheers, I'll see you next time.